Well, good evening, everyone. It is Monday night, I think. Yeah, the 19th, Tuesday night. Yeah, 19th of October. This is the old redneck. Uh, Tonight's little rant's going to be just touching on news subjects that are happening that I'd like to make comments on. Well, let's start off with the fact that, Biden has his mask rule and all this stuff, but he goes to a restaurant and walks all the way through it holding his mask in his hand, him and his wife. Uh, When you ask about it, White House press secretary Circleback tries scolding the reporters, saying, "Oh, you're just focusing on one moment. It's just a single snapshot." Trouble is, it was a video. You know, so it just goes. As it, just like every other case, like out here in San Francisco, the mayor got caught without a mask on, and then you got Harris out there without a mask on at places. You know, all these Democrats doing what they want without masks, but they want everybody else to wear one. So it's do as I say, not as I do. We have the power to tell you what to do. So that's my opinion on that. They all just a bunch of liars. Then you got elections coming up this next year, and you got all these people running, like West Virginia governor's trying to re-win his slot back or something. He's in an interview, a debate type thing, and he gets fed up with it and just gets up and walks out. Says you should have told the reporter you should have asked better questions. Yeah, what kind of crap's that? You leave in the middle of the interview just because you got your feelings hurt? You know? And we'll talk about, let's talk about the military a little bit. And the military the other day just admitted, or at least I read on Military Time, one of the military things I read, that the military admits that they have no defense against that new hypersonic missile that China just tested. The thing went in a low Earth orbit all the way around the world. And hit within 2 miles of its target. And when you're talking a missile, that's pretty decent. And they admit they have no defense against that they didn't even know China was developing that. All right, what the hell's going on with our intelligence agency and our military? One, you never admit that. At least I wouldn't. If you're in a, situation where they're your competitor, you don't ever admit you can't do something. At least I don't think so. And then we got the Department of the Navy. They're now telling the SEALs that don't want to get vaccinated, you don't get vaccinated, we're going to charge you for all of the training that you've had. You have to pay it back. And then we're going to discharge you. Now, does that sound like a democracy? This is a vaccine that a lot of people don't like because, one, we don't trust it. And then the Department of Navy's even upped their game. Any sailors that don't get the, shipboard sailors that don't get that jab will be charged for all of their training that they had. That includes boot camp, anything else, and then discharged. Doesn't matter how well they've served or anything else. That's what they're going to do. Now, to me, that does not sound like the good old U.S. of A. That kind of sounds like a dictatorship. But I'm old school. Doesn't make any sense. If this vaccine is so great, why are people that have the vaccine coming down with the COVID? One of the defense secretaries is either aides or defense secretary that's been in contact with Biden in the last 3 days just came down with the COVID. I thought all his staff was vaccinated. That's what they're telling everybody. City of San Diego has more COVID cases in vaccinated people than they do unvaccinated people. Now, San Diego's a pretty big town. Wouldn't you think the COVID would be hitting the unvaccinated before it hit the vaccinated? But then I try to think logically. I don't have the Fauci frame of mind. Then we get out here to California. Well, let's keep going. Let's just keep going. The city of Chicago, I read, over 300 police officers are walking off their force, which is already shorthanded due to defund the police, and because they're not going to get the job. Seattle has a bunch of first responders walking off the job because they're not going to get it. And speaking of defund the police, the squad people, AOC, Omar, and all the rest of that crowd, they've spent over $100,000 on private security, but they're the ones pushing to defund the cops. Wait a minute. If you don't want the cops, why do you want private security? Don't you trust your constituents? Shame on you. You know you're the people's choice. The people that don't have a brain. But let's keep going. Portland's, their people are saying that the city's just chaos because they can't get responders and everything else. Well, that's another one that wants to defund everybody. They want to send in social workers. That ought to be fun. Who wants to volunteer for that job? We got a gang shooting down there, this here neighborhood. Why don't you two go down there and talk them out of it? Yeah, that'll fly real well. Yeah, the city of San Francisco is upset because Walgreens is closing another 5 stores in their city due to theft, they say. So now they're trying to say, it's not due to that, it's due to they had plans to close them down anyway. Well, when thieves can just walk in your store and steal $985 worth of crap, and you're not allowed to stop them, even if you get video of it, the cops don't arrest them because the DA is not going to prosecute it. What the hell, why would you even want to stay in business? How many mom and pop shops can afford that? Not many I know of. And speaking of lovely San Francisco, I have to give kudos out to In-N-Out Burger. They got fined by the City of San Francisco Health Department because they were not enforcing the mask and vaccination checking mandate. They said they are not going to be the city's vaccination police. The city is not going to tell them they have to check these papers for people to come in and do business with them and all that. So they got a fine. They got closed down temporarily, but now they got told they can't have people eating inside. But still, kudos for standing up to them. I have to give them that. Out here in California, also, the parents and kids, yesterday, a whole bunch of them decided to stay home from school over this mandatory vaccination mandate. And I got to give them credit, they did. Not everybody, but I think they said that there was about 100,000 stayed out. That's a pretty good number, seeing this is a Democratic state. And let's see, what else? Oh, I just read an article that ought to just make all parents, if anybody's in California hearing this, just especially you live up around Davis. The Davis Unified School District sent an email to all the parents. We're starting to get rain down here now, finally. And they sent an email to the parents telling them that due to the rain coming in, they should send their children to school with rain gear and warm jackets because they're going to be having to eat their lunch outside in the rain due to the COVID. Now, what the hell kind of crap is that? I don't understand the way this world's going. People just need to wake up. That's all I got to say about it. But I'm not going to scream, holler, complain, and bitch. I'm just pointing out these little stories that I catch. You might have missed them. You might not care. But it shows the hypocrisy that's going on. There was a time when people could talk to each other, agree to disagree, and get along with each other. But now you can't. We got an app on here it's called Nextdoor. And if you say anything against the vaccination or question it, you are just slammed on by hundreds of people. Doesn't matter if you're looking for more information, right, wrong, or indifferent. They don't want you getting it. Now, does that sound like a democracy, or does that sound like, bad shit? Speaking of democracy, what's going on new in the age of cartoons? Oh, let's see. Superman's son is now gay. Batman is bisexual. Catwoman is a lesbian. And the oath for Superman, truth, justice, and the American way, well, they've taken the American way out of it and replaced it with some other snowflake crap. So thank you, Hollywood, for destroying another American item. All right, anything else you care to destroy? Like maybe your Hollywood sign, and it should say Commieland or something. In my mind, it's really funny how all these actors and politicians who all have money, all have these highfalutin ideas how they want the world to be, but they don't want to be touched. They don't want their nest egg touched, but they don't have no problem screwing with yours and mine. So why don't we all teach them a lesson? These Hollywood fools and singers and all that want to do that? Why don't we just turn around and quit buying tickets to their crap? Now, I will give kudos out to a story I heard about Travis Tritt, a country singer. He says he refuses to play any concert that wants to enforce a vaccine mandate or a mask mandate. So if anybody has one that don't want to have all that mandate bullshit, he's ready to sing for you. He's a damn good singer, so kudos to Travis Tritt. I wish the rest of the singers would get off their dead ass and start deciding to be American instead of sheep following the leader. I don't know. I don't know how this is going to turn out. It ain't going to turn out good. It ain't going to turn out pretty, but they're pushing all the wrong buttons. But for now, that's my little commentary. I know it's not the screaming, yelling rant that y'all used to, but I'm trying to be a more calm person, trying to keep my blood pressure down, and just trying to state the facts as I see them. If I'm wrong about any of this, be sure to tell me so. You can do so in the comments. You can send me an email to redneckrebel1956@gmail.com. I'll be glad to read it, and I'll be glad to debate it with you. But for now, this is the old redneck. To all my vets out there, I salute you. May we all get through this in one piece. If not, keep your powder dry and your guns loaded. Because shit's going to hit the fan here very shortly, I have a feeling. Good night to all. Bye.